Hello, knowledge seekers. In this episode of 20-Minute Books, we delve into 10x is Easier Than 2x by Dan Sullivan and Dr. Benjamin Hardy. This 2023 release challenges conventional success metrics, offering a radical new approach to achieving goals. The authors argue that aiming for 10 times growth is not only more inspiring, but also simpler and more enjoyable than modest double growth. The book is a combination of a call to action and a practical guide, providing readers with a clear roadmap to transform their aspirations into reality. It is designed for those who feel stuck or burnt out, particularly entrepreneurs and business leaders. But it's also perfect for high achievers seeking to elevate their personal and professional lives. As one of the most influential coaches in the entrepreneurial field, Dan Sullivan, along with Dr. Benjamin Hardy, an expert in organizational psychology, brings decades of experience and proven strategies. Together, they have written several bestsellers and helped tens of thousands of entrepreneurs. 10x is easier than 2. X is an essential read for anyone looking for significant breakthroughs and desiring to learn how to implement exponential growth strategies effectively. Whether you're searching for motivation or need a push to rethink your approach, this book promises to reshape your perspectives on success. Join us as we explore how to leave conventional growth paths behind and embrace a more ambitious and exciting trajectory. "10x is easier than 2x. How world-class entrepreneurs achieve more by doing less." Introduction. Think bigger and achieve more with less. Imagine you're at the helm of a thriving startup. Initially, the growth was explosive and thrilling, but now the progress has stalled. Despite pouring more hours and efforts into your venture, significant advancements are barely noticeable. Does this scenario resonate with you? Traditionally, our education and business models advocate a straightforward approach. Exert double the effort to double the results. Like clockwork, we're taught to believe that input directly correlates with output. If more profits are your goal, doubling your working hours seems logical. However, experience often defies this expectation. Many find that despite working extensive hours, the returns are minimal. Meanwhile, others manage to achieve groundbreaking success with seemingly less effort. This is where Dan Sullivan's insights come into play. He introduces a groundbreaking concept: thinking and operating at a 10 times level. Unlike the traditional linear path, this approach is non-linear and boundless. Yes, aiming for 10 times the results might sound intimidating. It involves a continuous process of letting go, shedding 80% of your current strategies, identities, and constraints that no longer contribute to your growth. What brought you here won't necessarily take you further. But here's the rewarding twist in adopting the 10x mindset. Once you move past the initial discomfort, life starts to align more simply and enjoyably. Since aiming for 10x results is not common, you'll face less competition and find more valuable opportunities for collaboration. Moreover, the high demands of pursuing 10x results cause a natural shift toward simplicity. You'll focus intensively on the few critical thoughts and actions that truly matter, letting go of the rest. This strategic focus allows you to achieve much more by doing significantly less. Intrigued yet? This script introduces you to the transformative power of the 10x philosophy and equips you with practical strategies to adopt it. Ready to leave those frustrating plateaus behind? Let's dive into how you can start thinking and achieving 10 times bigger. Part 1. Embrace simplicity by aiming for 10x. Consider this. If prompted to brainstorm methods to boost your profits by 10%, you'd likely fill a page with ideas in mere minutes. But what if the target was magnified to a tenfold increase? Chances are you'd come up with just a handful of possibilities. Often, setting goals like a 2x increase can leave you overwhelmed by the abundance of feasible strategies before you. Deciding which route to take, or attempting to tackle multiple options at once, can be paralyzing. Where would you find the time and energy? In contrast, envisioning a 10x goal significantly narrows your choices, often down to two or three. This reduction dramatically eases decision fatigue and the stress of analysis paralysis. Surprisingly, setting a goal 10x greater than your original target often feels like lifting a burden off your shoulders. Now, you might wonder, what if I'm content with simply doubling my outcome? Why should I target 10x? Here's why. Aiming for 10x could illuminate the most effective route to achieving even your 2x goal, eliminating much of the guesswork and painful deliberation. It provides you with a broader safety net for potential missteps. As Norman Vincent Peale famously advised, aiming for the moon, even if missed, will land you among the stars, far better than falling short on a lesser goal. For the bold and the ambitious ready to fully commit, there's another layer to how 10x goals simplify planning. Targeting 10x not only limits your strategic options, but also reduces the actual tasks and actions required to succeed. If you're acquainted with the 80-20 rule or the Pareto principle, you already understand that the majority of results often come from a minority of efforts. By focusing exclusively on the 20% of efforts that yield high returns, pursuing 10x intuitively declutters and simplifies your life. This focus allows you to cast aside less productive tasks, simplifying your to-do list to only the essentials. It cuts out the noise, letting you concentrate on what truly matters. Indeed, relinquishing 80% of your familiar territory with each stride toward 10x might seem daunting. However, consider it not as a loss, but as a liberation. Would you really miss those limiting beliefs, draining relationships, and low-yield tasks? Or will you find relief in shedding these burdens, feeling lighter and more liberated to pursue what truly matters? Part 2. Elevate your life by choosing mastery over mundanity. When faced with the option, would you rather dwell in the ordinary or ascend to mastery? The path to a 10x lifestyle is not suited to everyone, but the ability to choose this path is universally available. Building on the idea previously discussed, setting a 10x goal naturally enhances your focus from mere quantity to outstanding quality. This means dedicating yourself to the vital 20%, the actions that deliver high returns on investment. Once you shed the cumbersome 80% of your tasks and distractions, you can invest deeper into refining the quality of the critical 20%. This heightened focus is what turns the dream of a 10x goal into an attainable reality. This process also involves a significant transformation in two core areas: your identity and your standards. Identity pertains to the narrative you hold about yourself, which you perpetuate through your thoughts and actions. For example, if you harbor a belief that achieving a 10x lifestyle is beyond your reach, your thoughts and behaviors will likely align with that limiting mindset, constraining your possibilities. Similarly, your standards reflect the baseline for what you deem acceptable in your actions and outcomes, shaped by your self-perception. Someone who doubts their ability to achieve 10x results will set vastly different standards compared to someone who believes they are capable. Take a moment to reflect on your current identity and standards. Are they narratives you consciously chose, or have they just accumulated over time? Are they fostering stagnation, or are they driving you towards transformation? No need to worry if you find yourself in a less proactive stance currently. Every journey has a starting point. Dan Sullivan offers a practical 4-step guide to elevate your identity and standards to align with a 10x goal. The initial step involves committing to your transformation. Genuine desire for growth sets the foundation for all changes. Next, you must muster the courage to move beyond your existing 2x objectives, identity and standards. This step involves stepping out of your comfort zone, which typically absorbs 80% of your effort with minimal return. Following this, as you act on higher goals, you'll build new capabilities necessary for sustaining a 10x lifestyle. This escalation in skills breeds profound self-confidence, reinforcing your ability to tackle even grander goals. Think of pursuing 10x goals like engaging in extreme sports. It might seem daunting at first, but the exhilaration of surpassing limits can become addictive. Let go of initial fears and embrace the expansive growth and rich experiences that come with aiming for 10x achievements. Part 3. Discover the exhilarating joy of the 10x leap. Skydiving might not top your list of fun activities, but there's a different kind of leap, the 10x leap, that promises a rush of excitement and profound satisfaction. To wrap up our exploration of the 10x concept, let's delve into the distinction between wanting and needing, and how this impacts your enjoyment and success. Living a life dictated by needing is symptomatic of a scarcity mindset. This view is unfortunately prevalent in society, where justification is required for every pursuit, and skepticism is a common defense mechanism. Conversely, embracing a life driven by wanting cultivates an abundance mindset. When you aim for a 10x life, you're not just reaching for existing opportunities and resources, you're creating new ones that wouldn't have materialized without your proactive efforts. This shift towards a wanting orientation is far from selfish. In fact, it's by adopting this mindset that you generate abundance not only for yourself but also for those around you. This brings us to two crucial points. Firstly, a mindset oriented around wanting naturally pairs with a 10x identity. Exponential, non-linear growth isn't about necessity, it's about transcending limitation and redefining who you can be. Secondly, 10x goals inherently require an abundance mindset. They are born from a place of desire, and in turn, foster further abundance. When you wholeheartedly pursue what you desire, just because it's what you want, you begin to harness what Sullivan identifies as your unique ability. This is the concept of cultivating a specialized skill or talent that no one else possesses quite like you do. As you focus on enhancing your top 20%, the identity you develop will be highly distinctive and specialized, significantly increasing your value. This phase transcends typical competition, propelling you into a state of flow where life becomes not just productive, but inherently enjoyable. Offering this refined mastery becomes one of your most rewarding experiences. Contrary to conventional wisdom, you might find that pursuing a 10x goal is indeed simpler, better, and more thrilling than you ever imagined. Embrace this mindset and watch as the 10x path unfolds into a journey filled with greater accomplishments and joy. Part 4. Have you experienced a 10x transformation in your life? Dan Sullivan distinguishes the world into two types of people: those who live in the gap and those who thrive in the gain. Individuals in the gap constantly compare themselves against an elusive set of ideals, targets they believe they should achieve. Like the ever-distant horizon, these ideals serve as direction but remain perpetually out of reach, often becoming a source of frustration rather than motivation. On the other hand, those in the gain measure their accomplishments by how far they've come from their starting point. This perspective fosters a sense of continuous achievement and growth. Individuals with this mindset appreciate their progress, viewing the journey as an unfolding series of opportunities rather than a relentless race towards an unattainable endpoint. Now ask yourself, which mindset do you primarily inhabit? Let's delve into a practical exercise that Sullivan proposes to illustrate the impact these mindsets can have on your quest for a 10x life. Reflect on your life's timeline and try to identify moments when you've made significant leaps, those instances that qualify as a 10x jump. It might surprise you to find that most people can identify at least one such transformation, and with deeper reflection, possibly even more. This exercise isn't just a walk down memory lane. It employs the gain mindset to reinforce the reality that the potential for a 10x future exists within you, as it does for everyone. You have already scaled such heights once. You can undoubtedly do so again. For those more accustomed to the gap perspective, this exercise might seem challenging or even uncomfortable. However, it's vital to recognize that this isn't merely about fostering positivity. Sullivan argues that genuinely moving forward is infeasible without fully acknowledging and respecting your past achievements. If you find yourself currently mired in stagnation, this approach of appreciation rather than self-criticism could be the catalyst you need to free yourself and soar towards new heights. Remember, recognizing your past successes can be the first step to propelling yourself into a future where you achieve 10x your current achievements. Part 5. Setting the stage for continuous 10x growth. At this point, you're likely buzzing with excitement. We've uncovered how aiming for 10x results can be simpler, more rewarding, and more enjoyable than anticipated. And you've acknowledged your own capacity for such ambitious leaps. Now, let's explore practical strategies to make 10x achievements a consistent reality in your life. The first step is to evolve beyond the outdated industrial model that measures time linearly and quantitatively. Even though the days of production lines are largely behind us, many still cling to this restrictive time paradigm, which is ill-suited for creativity, flow, or exponential results. Instead, consider how performers, like athletes and entertainers, view and use time. Their approach is non-linear and qualitative, dividing their schedules into dedicated phases of preparation, performance, and recovery. This method aligns perfectly with a 10x lifestyle, promoting sustainable high-level results through intensive preparation and substantial recovery periods. While the value of preparation is widely recognized, the critical role of recovery is often underestimated. Dan Sullivan emphasizes the importance of free days, periods devoted entirely to rest and rejuvenation. He suggests a bold experiment. Schedule several of these free days over the next month, quarter, or year, enough to make you slightly uneasy. Commit to disengaging from work during these times and observe the impact on your productivity and well-being. Sullivan's second tactic centers on self-sufficiency within your team. High achievers often become bottlenecks in their ventures due to their involvement in every small operational detail. While their dedication is admirable, it can stifle both individual and collective growth, confining progress to a 2x level. Remember, the aim is to focus on the vital 20% that only you can manage effectively, while empowering your team to handle the remaining 80%. You might think, but I don't have a team, so this advice doesn't apply to me. To this, Sullivan would argue that you've just demonstrated the necessity of the approach. Even solopreneurs dedicated to significant growth should consider at least hiring a part-time assistant. And if your main role isn't tied to a traditional job, say managing household duties, he would suggest outsourcing certain responsibilities. This strategic deployment of your unique abilities is crucial because it frees you to focus solely on tasks that nobody else can perform quite like you. By courageously reorganizing your life and responsibilities, you can not only bring immense value into the world, but also ensure that your personal and professional growth continues at a 10x rate. Final summary. Embarking on the 10x journey is truly a gateway to a life that surpasses all expectations. Whether it's about achieving personal milestones or professional excellence, the shift from a 2x to a 10x approach requires moving beyond comfort zones and conventional habits. Although it may seem challenging to let go of 80% of familiar but limiting behaviors, embracing a 10x mindset reveals that this path is not only feasible, but also simpler, more enjoyable, and profoundly rewarding. Living a 10x life isn't the default choice for everyone, but for those ready to embrace this transformative approach, the rewards are boundless and deeply fulfilling. Thank you for joining me today on this journey of learning and discovery as we explored the insights of another thought provoking book in our growing library of knowledge. If you've enjoyed our time together, please take a moment to follow our podcast, give us a 5-star rating, and share 20-minute books with other knowledge seekers. Your support truly means a lot. Don't forget to join me again in the next episode, where we will delve into another enriching book. Until then, happy reading and happy listening.